Welcome everybody to Behind the Sings episode 1. Basically these videos are going to be me just kind of breaking down a little bit the 3 songs on the EP I just released, Longing. And what's really cool about these songs specifically, 2 of them being new, 1 of them being like a remastered song, is that these songs kind of are the last of these songs that I started writing like maybe in between like 4 to 6 years ago. And so all these songs are like the period at the end of like a creative sentence. These songs are kind of the culmination of years of starting stuff and not finishing them. So I'm just gonna kind of talk a little bit about some of the maybe the influences behind the songs, and maybe even just some like little hidden details or how we kind of captured some of the sound. So this first song is called Again. It started as a very different song. And I'll just play a little bit of kind of what it sounded like at the beginning.
All that I'll ever need. One drop in a tall glass of water.
So very different sound, very different sound. So it's just like overdrive and like some like reverb and delay on this like kind of grungy kind of sounding guitar. I don't even know what vibe I was going for. I think I just started listening to like Colony House, and like they were maybe an influence in this original version, but basically I kind of didn't finish it because I wasn't 100% in love with like the chorus and even some of the bridge and like the lyrics that I wrote. I really liked, and you heard it here, the beginning of these verses. I kept the verses because I really liked the verses, but I just wasn't in love with the rest of the song. And so I took a couple verses from here and actually a portion of the bridge is in the final product. And then there's even some like kind of thematic and even pieces of lyrics from the bridge of another song that would actually become the song Mysteries, the second remastered song on the EP. And so that's kind of where it started. It started as this kind of grungy, not even grungy, I don't know what it was, but I didn't like it. So I kind of shifted away from that, and my buddy Joel kind of helped realize kind of the new vision. So this song is very unique in the sense that each part of the song is almost like its own chapter. Like I never go back and repeat a section of the song. Verse 1 and verse 2 are kind of both individual analogies of what seems like insignificance. Talking about like one drop of water, kind of that's kind of lost after like the condensation collects. And then a tree just like in the middle of the forest, like no one sees it. It's in the middle of nowhere. And the lyric says like that a seed had to die so that life would kind of create it and support it. And then it's just this tree in the middle of a forest that no one even sees or notices. Verse 3 kind of makes this argument, it kind of moves into the rap portion of the song, and it makes this argument that ultimately value is not based on our size. How even though we may seem insignificant in the eyes of the entire universe, that doesn't like determine our value, and God himself he came underneath his creation and started at the smallest point of being, which is like a cell. C.S. Lewis kind of talks about this. I forget what book it was, but he talks about this idea, and I kind of used his ideas to write this section. Verse 4 kind of brings it back to the first 2 verses. It kind of shows the relationship between this drop that goes up. It forms a cloud amongst all the other drops that seem to have been lost. It eventually rains on the seed that grows into the tree. And it's just to show the relationship and the purpose of these seemingly like small and insignificant things. And then the ending, my lovely sister who's been singing on the entire song, she has her own little section, and it's almost from the perspective of God kind of calling and beckoning us to say like, hey, listen, like I love you. I'm going to use you again and again, no matter what, like you have purpose and you have value. So that's kind of the theme and the idea and the direction of the song lyrically. I actually took influence from Billie Eilish's song, When the Party's Over, as the foundation. I heard this, and I'll just play it real quick. I really like that. So I was like, oh, Krista, like, would you like write something where it's just like, that's what I want to, like, the foundation of the song to be. She was able to come up with her own little ooh foundation. So that like kind of 8 bars or whatever kind of just is the foundation for the rest of the song. It just continues throughout. Something I like to do is whenever I can record something for real. It's just something that I don't know what it is, but I like the idea of doing something for real versus like just like using a MIDI thing. So I had these wood blocks. They kind of are the percussive elements in the song, and then also the kind of the hi-hat or like the other percussiveness is just me in my mouth going, and that's like, it's these guys kind of beatboxing a little bit, and then we ended up using some MIDI toms to fill out the rest of the percussiveness. And it almost kind of ends up sounding almost like a Africa Toto like kind of vibe to it. It's got this, just like, I don't know, it just makes you move. Some really super random detail. It's throughout the song, but you can really hear it before each verse. You hear like it's like a mouse click, and it almost sounds like a tom. And at first, it wasn't supposed to be in there. It was kind of like a leftover element. Didn't get clipped off, but it was like on beat, and I kind of liked it, so we just left it in there. That kind of sums up the song again. Shout out again to my sister. She absolutely crushes it in this song. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to go follow me on Spotify, listen to the song, and share it with others. I'll see you next time for episode 2 of Behind the Sings.